welcome back to Alice Talks Football and welcome back to a live Manchester United news, transfer news, takeover news and general news show. I wanted to do a more chillaxed news show today. No talking about manager crap, this and that. There's nothing new on the manager crap. Don't waste your time on any of the rumours. I now want to talk about, first of all, transfer news and, of course, a few other stories as well. News of Leny Yoro to United. United putting in a 51 million bid. Lille will accept that bid, but does that mean Leny Yoro will come to United? Well, that news is coming out from Spanish sources. I assume it's a game to hurry up Real Madrid. I think Leny Yoro, like Camavinga, will go to Real Madrid, but we will discuss the news on Leny Yoro to United. There's no doubt in my mind that Man United want him like we wanted Camavinga, but I think the player's heart is set on Real Madrid. We've got a few other stories going about as well. Rob Dawson announced that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to be the new Besiktas manager, and Besiktas had just announced that Giovanni van Bronckhorst is the new manager, not Ole. So Rob Dawson basically looking like an absolute fool. So his credibility's gone down the drain there, because there was rumours of Ole being the next Besiktas manager. But we've got other sources and other news coming out on just general stories. Ten Hag, the future of Manchester United, but also Manchester City acting like absolute children yet again. And I thought, you know what, we're going to talk about the worst club in the Premier League, the biggest cheats, the club in the Premier League that needs to get relegated, Manchester City, because they've decided that the rules apparently in the Premier League are unfair and they're going to sue the Premier League. Well, if you didn't break the rules, then why are they unfair? This team that is really innocent, is refusing to give the Premier League key documents so the case can move on, is lawyering up, refusing to give information that's needed so the case can move on, doing everything they can to delay the case while spending loads of money on lawyers, while attacking the Premier League, threatening to sue the Premier League, saying the rules are unfair, refusing to hand over documents. Their numbers have gone up so much for a side that before the takeover was making so little. It's gone up 10 times higher than anyone could have predicted, yet their viewing figures don't quite work out with their numbers. But Manchester City, of course, as they say, are absolutely innocent. Well, they're not making themselves look innocent in the slightest. City are panicking. They are now threatening to quit the Premier League to join the Super League. I don't think Man City realises, but nobody cares. Like, the Super League want Manchester United, they want Arsenal, they want Liverpool. If they just get Manchester City from the Premier League, there is no point, because 90% of the Premier League people come to view is Man United, Liverpool and Arsenal. Chelsea could be up there in fourth, but the Premier League is Man United, Liverpool and Arsenal probably bring in 90% of the viewing figures compared to City. So, you know, they're now threatening to say, oh, blah, 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 blah. Everyone says that the other 19 clubs in the Premier League should refuse to play Man City. We should just get them kicked out. Cheating should be banned from our sport. Corruption. We all know Man City are guilty. I hope they don't get away with it, because it will make the integrity of the Premier League look bad. This is like Lance Armstrong suing the Tour de France for banning performance-enhancing drugs. It is. That's a great way of explaining it. Manchester City suing the Premier League for the rules being unfair. It's like Lance Armstrong suing the Tour de France for banning performance-enhancing drugs. It's ridiculous, but we're innocent. We're innocent. The rules are unfair. We're not going to give you the data you want. We're not going to, Forest and Everton, we're going to cooperate with you. We're going to cooperate with you, and all of that. Oh, we've only got 115 charges. They're all false. We're not going to cooperate with you. Hide the documents. Don't send them over. Delay the case. Spend 50+ million on lawyers. Sue the Premier League. Threaten the Premier League. They're acting like, the school bully that's like that then gets it back to him and then he acts like the victim. That's what they're acting like. The Premier League's integrity is really on the line here. I think the more and more City act like this, and the longer the case goes on, the more and more the Premier League need to win this case. As much as Man City are doing everything they can, everybody knows they're cheats, and this case is too big, and the integrity of the Premier League goes. But let's get into that news on Manchester City. Let's get into the stories. Let's get into the drama and all of that as well. This makes me laugh, this story. This makes me absolutely laugh. So this is one of the stories coming in on Manchester City so far today, and it just makes them look like idiots, to be honest. It really does. It was said Manchester City could seek to rejoin the European Super League if they fail in their legal battle with the Premier League over associated party transactions. Relations between the league and the champions will be at an all-time low. I don't think the Premier League are threatened by Man City leaving. I don't. Man City are now threatening to leave the Premier League if they get charged. So Man City have got 115 charges. They're now suing the Premier League and threatening to leave if they're found guilty. Why are you threatening to leave if you're found guilty? That's, if you were as innocent as you say you are, you wouldn't be acting like this. But like at the end of the day, the Super League don't care about Man City. Go join the Super League, but look at your viewing figures compared to Arsenal, Liverpool, and United's viewing figures. Manchester City, were outside the Premier League 15, 20 years ago when they were in the Championship, and the Premier League did just fine. The Premier League are going to look at that saying, oh, they're going to leave us and join the Super League. Well, it's not Liverpool. It's not Arsenal. It's not Man United. They weren't in the Premier League before their takeover. They had a couple of years in the Championship, and that did nothing, because as long as we've got Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United, maybe you can put Chelsea in there, we're fine. Because Manchester City's a very small percentage of the viewing figures. They only get a higher percentage now. They're at the top of the table in big games. But Man City could join the European Super League and leave the Premier League, and I don't think it would do much to impact the finances of the Premier League. I really don't think it would. I don't at all. So, you can fret all of that, but the Premier League know that it's Arsenal, Liverpool and Man United they need to please, because Arsenal, Liverpool and Man United are the viewing figures, followed by Chelsea and fourth. So Man City are saying, oh, we're going to leave the league if we get found guilty. Go leave the league. The league don't need you. City was the lowest League One. The league don't need you. It's crazy. The parade numbers don't lie, unlike the Sheikh. I mean, they're just liars. And the way they've gone about it is a disgrace. They're absolute liars. And then they've basically gone about this, basically attacking everybody else, saying the rules are unfair. Like, the way they've gone about this, the way they've treated their case is an absolute disgrace. Saying, oh, it's everybody else's fault. It's not our fault. The rules are unfair. Coming out, rules are unfair. I mean, Manchester City's commercial revenue in 2008 was 21 million, which was miles behind Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United and Chelsea. And then by 2012, it was second only to United. In the space of 4 years, and bear in mind Man City are getting charged for things that happened in 2010, in the space of 4 years, Manchester City's revenue all of a sudden became higher than Chelsea, Liverpool and Arsenal's, when it was, 80 million behind before that. It's so obvious that they're guilty, and they're not acting like the team that's innocent. They're threatening the Premier League. They want the rules changed. They're saying the rules are unfair. Well, if the rules aren't fair, if the rules were fair, you wouldn't need to break them. If the rules weren't fair, why'd you break them? It's just, I don't know. Yeah. To be fair, City fans would probably be happy with the Super League, but the thing is, like, the Super League would be dead if it's just Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Man City, because obviously the German clubs won't join. The French clubs can't join because of the relationship with, other boards. It will be Man City and the Spanish team. So Man City might as well just join La Liga then. And Man City don't have enough fans to elevate La Liga. Like, Atletico Madrid have more fans than Man City. I think Newcastle have got a bigger fan base than Man City. So if Man City leave the Premier League, it's crazy. How come it took them so long to come up with this story? If you're innocent, you don't need to do this. Go City, go, won't miss you, bring your boring mechanical football. No one's going to miss them. I think everyone was at the point where they want City gone. Why, if they were as innocent, why aren't they giving the Premier League the documents they leave? Why aren't they sharing their actual financial documents? Why are they sending fake documents? Why are they hiding up documents? Why are they refusing to cooperate with the Premier League, lawyering up, then saying the rules are unfair and threatening to sue the Premier League if you were so innocent as well? They agreed to the rules and then broke them. Won't open books, 100% cheating, got caught, facts. Yeah, if you were innocent, you'd be cooperating with the Premier League. You'd be giving them everything they need to see, and you've got to be fine. There's 115 charges there for a reason. There might be 3 or 4 of those charges that actually you haven't broken, but there's 115 charges for a reason, and you can't tell me you're innocent on all 115 charges. I think they'll get found guilty, but only on a couple of charges, and probably get a 20-point deduction. But realistically, they need to be stripped of their titles and sent to League 2. That's what they need to do as well. Someone shut City up and take their owners and money away. They'll be better than Southampton. They'll be no better than Southampton. Honestly, their owners are ruining football. They're ruining the integrity of the game. I'm not just saying this because I'm a Man United fan. They're cheats. They're ruining the integrity of the game. They're ruining football. They are lying about it. They're trying to change. They're basically saying we're going to try and change the rules now so it suits us. So that basically Manchester City are trying to change the rules so that they can forever win the Premier League year in, year out. They're trying to change the rules so it suits them. They've broken the rules and they're refusing to take accountability. So they're suing everyone around them and threatening the Premier League. They're basically, Man City's owners are the richest of the rich in Abu Dhabi. No one's ever told them no. No one, they make the rules in Abu Dhabi. They come over to England. There's rules they have to follow. They're not used to following the rules because they're all powerful men. And all of a sudden, now they've got to follow the rules and they're getting caught out for not following the rules. All of a sudden, they're having a big temper tantrum, saying the rules are unfair, trying to change the rules and acting like children. You know what? Just go, sell Manchester City and leave. Because I tell you what, that club will be relegated. You're cheats, and I feel sorry for the loyal Man City fans that were fans before the takeover, not the Man City fans that became fans in the last 10 years because they're such big Manchester City fans. I'm talking about the loyal Manchester City fans that have been there when City were in the bad days. It's not fair on them because everything they've won, their Champions League, their treble, it's tainted. Everything Manchester City have won since the takeover is tainted. Oh, they've won all these titles. Oh, but it's tainted. Everything they've won is tainted. You know, no one takes seriously what they've won. Like, if Arsenal won the Premier League, it would be taken 20 times more seriously when City won the Premier League. And I feel sorry for those loyal fans at Manchester City. I do. The loyal Manchester City fans don't deserve what their owners have done to them. Cheats. And even if they do get away with it because they've spent 100 million on lawyers, everyone deep down will know that's a tainted title. There'll be tainted titles, tainted treble. Everybody knows it deep down. Like, everybody knows it. Like, we know that they're probably not we know that they're not innocent. Like, I'm sorry. When you look at what was leaked, the detail of information, when you look at the fact that one of Manchester City's highest paid sponsors, LinkedIn profile picture for the owner of that company was a stock image that was brought off a Chinese company by the Manchester City group. That doesn't, like, why would you do that unless you weren't faking sponsors? They look so guilty. Like, they might be innocent, innocent till proven guilty. It's all allegations. But when you've got 115 charges, you're acting like that. When you actually look at, like, the evidence and the proof against them, I mean, unless somebody is making all of this up because they can't stand City and that's what the hacker did that leaked all the information, they don't look like a team that's innocent. And if they were a team that's innocent, why wouldn't they give over their papers? They could say, oh, he's faked the papers, he's faked the numbers. That's what they're claiming. Okay, so why don't you give the Premier League your actual papers? Oh, you're not. So you're saying that he's faked the papers, but you won't hand over your actual papers. So it just doesn't check out. It really doesn't check out as well. Difference is United and Liverpool have built history. City are trying to buy history like Chelsea. Exactly. If they get off all those charges, serious questions need to be asked. No, they won't get charged for all, but sure, they'll find a way. I think they'll probably get away with most of it in a little punishment. I think they've got too much money. They've got too much power. I think the football is a sport where they need good relationships with the Middle East because that's where all the money is for the sport. And I think the Premier League will bottle it. I think the Premier League will absolutely bottle it as well. And I think they'll probably, get away with it as well. We are going to talk about Manchester United in a second. We are going to talk about all the latest Manchester United news and stuff. But I wanted to have like a bit of a more chill show today rather than just going through the news. Because to be honest, like, there's news on Ten Hag, but there's not news on Ten Hag. There's not news on Ten Hag. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's, we might do this with Ten Hag, we might do that with Ten Hag, we might do this with Ten Hag, There's no news on Ten Hag. There's no news on Ten Hag today. It's just the same old rumours going about as well. But yeah, apparently Ollie is not going to be the Besiktas manager. He's not. Now, interesting. We might have news. I think I might have jinxed it. We may have news. Howard Nurse, top source of information, says TikTok then is in Ten Hag. TikTok then. Howard Nurse is tweeting. Maybe information has happened. Maybe something has happened. He's now saying TikTok then. So interesting news. Nothing else from Howard Nurse. He's just saying TikTok then. He previously said things like Amrabat to Man United then the next day we announced Amrabat. He's saying TikTok then, which could be Ten Hag's going then. There's now news coming out from Howard Nurse to suggest that Ten Hag is going, so we'll keep an eye on that. TikTok is in the second one, like TikTok then. That's what I say. No one will miss Man City. They have 5 fans, exactly. Threatening to leave the Premier League for the Super League. Oh, we're going to leave the Premier League. We're going to join the Super League if you sue us. Well, you get about 10 viewers, so I don't think the Super League really care as well. Super League owners couldn't care less about Man City joining if the other Premier clubs don't. It's Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United from the Premier League. They want, they get all the highest viewing figures. Literally, I mean, they probably wouldn't even be able to sell out the stadium even if they're in the Super League as well. I'll show you my tweet on Manchester City. And then we'll get back into the Ten Hag news and we'll get into the Leny Yoro news because we've now got Howard Nurse saying, TikTok then in regards to Ten Hag's future. Basically, Howard Nurse, very good sources, seem to have got information that Ten Hag could be leaving. I said 115 charges. Unlike Everton and Forest, they're refusing to provide the PL with documents to speed up the case and work with them. They are allegedly hiding all their documents, faking sponsors, and now trying to sue the Premier League, claiming the rules are unfair, basically trying to change the rules to suit them. Pep, get out of that cheating club and come to United. Assuming Ten Hag's going to be sacked, come to United, Pep. On a serious note, I do feel sorry for those loyal pre-takeover Man City fans. Everything they have won is being tarnished by the cheating and inflating of numbers and sponsors from their owners. The amount of money being spent on lawyers and delay tactics is crazy. Not handing over documents, delaying the process, then blaming the Premier League rules does not help Man City look innocent. Can we just relegate them already? That's what I had to say on the case, and I will stay clear with that as well. Ten Hag in, City out. I like that. Manchester, smash that like button if you want Man City out. Smash that like button if you're Man City out as well. City owners have the minds of children. They absolutely do. They are Man cheaty. We've got Manchester United and we have Manchester 115 in this country. That's all I see it. When we won the FA Cup final, I just said we're playing Manchester 115. And, you know, people hate Man United, but if you're a real football fan, sure, like the way I see it is, and I spoke to a Liverpool fan about this, and a Liverpool fan said to me, as much as he hates Man United, and he hates Man United 10 times more than Manchester City, he did say deep down he wanted Man United to win the FA Cup final because they did it with their youth products, they did it with their academy products. He said that side has got 115 charges, they've cheated. He said they wanted us to win the FA Cup final, and I think, you know, people are really waking up to the idea of they don't like City. Man United's always been the most hated club. Man United's always been the club that everybody hates, but I think Arsenal fans have now found a new kind of hatred for Man City. Liverpool fans do. I think, you know, everyone wants them done, but who knows if they'll be done. There's a lot of money and money talks. So this is what Howard Nurse said. He said TikTok then. Which is a suggestion over Ten Hag's future and what could be going on. Obviously, he hasn't been accurate with all the information. He did once say Frankie de Jong to Man United then, and that did not happen, and everyone went mental. But other than that, he's not missed. But he's saying TikTok then, and he's been quite a reliable source of information in regards to Manchester United news. So whatever's going on with Ten Hag's future, it could get quite interesting. There could be a brief later on of Ten Hag's future. Every single reliable source is coming out and suggesting that Ten Hag will be gone. Hopefully not, but every single reliable source keeps coming out with information about, you know, this and that. This is a tweet here by United Ellis that said, INEOS better pull off the best transfer window of all time. The lack of movement around the club is really irritating. It's like they prioritised signing Dan Ashworth from Newcastle and forgot to sort out the managerial situation, the ingoings and outgoings. And that's how it feels at the moment. It's being so dragged on and it's so delayed, and I'm absolutely fed up of it. I'm going to get into the Leny Yoro news in just a second, so please do hit the like button as well, and of course subscribe down below if you're new. 115, but that's 115 they've been charged of. There could be 151 at this rate with that club. I think there's a lot more than 115 charges, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think they're cheats. I do. They have to be made an example of, or else the FA loses all credibility. Exactly. Eric Ten Hag, no one knows except INEOS facts. Only INEOS know. There'll be people in and around INEOS that will know. People, you know, Fabrizio Romano saying, oh, you know, they're looking at other managers, but no decision has been made. I don't believe that INEOS haven't made a decision. I believe INEOS have made a decision, and I believe INEOS know absolutely what they're going to do. I just believe that INEOS are waiting for the right time to announce it, maybe because Ten Hag's only just got back from Ibiza. I'm not sure why they're delaying it. Maybe it's Ten Hag's holiday. Maybe they want the replacement sorted. Maybe they might keep Ten Hag, but I believe they've decided. You can't convince me into thinking that INEOS have not made a decision on this. I do want to get into the Leny Yoro news. I do want to get into the Leny Yoro stories because quite a few interesting things are coming out. It was said that Manchester United will make an offer close to 60 million euros for Leny Yoro. Real Madrid have told Leny Yoro to wait and resist big offers. The club still want to sign him and contacts are ongoing. So news coming out on Leny Yoro is that Man United will make an offer of £50 million to sign Leny Yoro. What do we know about Leny Yoro to Manchester United? Well, I've summed all of that up in a tweet. This is based off information from Tier 1 sources only, the likes of Fabrizio Romano, The Athletic. This is a summary of what all the top tier sources have said on Leny Yoro to United. It was said this: the new INEOS people at Man United really appreciate Leny Yoro, who's a top centre-back target to replace Varane. That was said by Romano. Man United will sign a centre-back this summer and are actively looking at signing Leny Yoro. According to reports in Spain, Man United made a 50 million offer for the Euro, which is a price that Lille would accept. Now, I don't believe we've made a 50 million offer for Euro. I think that's coming out of Spanish sources because Euro's agent and Lille are pushing this Man United close to getting getting the deal done narrative to hurry up Real Madrid. Like Camavinga, who he wanted, he was Real Madrid bound. I think Leny Yoro is Real Madrid bound, but I think if he doesn't go to Real Madrid and Real Madrid don't pursue him, then Man United will 100% be all over that. I think Manchester United are trying to get a deal done for Leny Yoro, but I think Man United also know deep down that Leny Yoro will go to Real Madrid, but I know that if Man United can get Leny Yoro, they will. Like, I know that. Interestingly, one thing to point out is that Man United have a very good relationship with Euro's agent, who's been spotted at Carrington, but he also represents Jao Neves and Ait-Nouri. We've been told in the last 2 days we put in a bid for Jao Neves and we put in a bid for Leny Yoro, and their agent has been at Carrington speaking with those at Man United. So maybe there's some truth to it. There's definitely interest. I'm not sure about the bid. I did say I do doubt the report that the 51 million offer is true. As much as I would like Leny Yoro, I believe he is Real Madrid bound and they're using United to speed Madrid along. It's coming out from Spanish sources. He's a French player in the French league. Man United are an English club in the English league. Why are Spanish sources giving us all this information about Leny Yoro to United? Because it's a game for Real Madrid. If Yoro doesn't go to Real Madrid, I can see Man United landing in, but it's like the Camavinga situation where you sort of know the player's Madrid bound. But that was sort of the latest on everything you need to know on Leny Yoro. Like, Leny Yoro would be brilliant, and I want Leny Yoro. I think he's fantastic. I think he's young, and maybe he'll take a season to adapt. But I think Leny Yoro could be a world beater at centre-back. But I think he is Real Madrid bound. I think he wants Real Madrid. It's a little bit like Camavinga deal. We really wanted Camavinga, but you kind of knew he was going to go to Real Madrid. And, you know, Real Madrid had just won a Champions League and announced Mbappe and signed Endrick. You know, we don't even know who our manager is going to be next season. Let's, you know, as big as Man United are, we ain't going to beat Real Madrid to the signing of a player as well. It's going to be Southgate, Ashworth, Lobson. Well, we know Brailsford wants Ten Hag out, but would love to bring Southgate in, which is why I don't trust Brailsford in decision making, because Brailsford's a massive fan of Southgate and not a very big fan of Ten Hag, according to inside sources as well. Someone said a Ten Hag gone statement is definitely coming soon. Howard Nurse saying TikTok then is definitely going to move. I mean, there's a feeling it could be moving, but I mean, it better move. It's been long enough. It's been way too long. They need to hurry up with that as well, for sure. Yeah, I'm absolutely fed up as well. Do you think City will get relegated? They'll probably find a way to get away with it as well. Guys, we've got 900 people watching and only 165 likes. I want to hit 300 likes by the end of the live stream. If just 1/3 of you goes and hits that like button right now, we can hit that target. The airline who sponsors City for 65 million are going public, and the paper trail said the airline only paid City 8 million and City owners paid the rest, which is apparently probably true, but City owners will probably pay them to lie in the case as well. Someone said send City to La Liga. The only thing about the City trial is City are definitely going to pay off the witnesses. They've got ridiculous money as well. It's going to be such a hard case for the Premier League to win, because we all know the City are corrupt cheaters as well. Alice, do you think United could face a transfer embargo if proven they tapped up Ashworth and Man City guy working while on gardening leave? Well, Manchester City don't really care about, you know, the contact between us and Barada. They said they don't care. They know contact needs to happen. Newcastle are sorry about the situation. Newcastle will press the case, but also some sources are saying Newcastle will likely put out this information in a lie to deny the sort of arbitration. The arbitration is going to choose a fair price that Man United pay for Ashworth, and so we don't know the credibility of the Man United tapping up Ashworth reports, because it's been leaked by Newcastle media, and Man United sources are claiming that Newcastle media are faking it and making it up to try and help them in the case for arbitration as well. No disrespect, but you're a snack. Appreciate that, Parker, as well. Brother, I can't. No Southgate. I'm going to be angry. I don't think we'll bring Southgate in. I know Brailsford likes Southgate, but if INEOS are bringing in footballing people like Wilcox and Ashworth, Jason Wilcox worked at Manchester City. Jason Wilcox was sporting director of Southampton. He's a clever guy. He's worked his way up. I don't believe that Jason Wilcox would sit there, as much as it has been reported that Jason Wilcox is actually Ten Hag out and is in favour of Ten Hag leaving. I don't think Jason Wilcox would sit there with all the information, all the experience in football and think, yeah, let's sack Ten Hag, who's won 2 trophies in 2 years, for Southgate that's not achieved anything with a very, very good England squad. It would make no sense bringing in Southgate, and I don't believe INEOS will do that. I think the media just use Southgate because it will get clicks. De Zerbi, Pochettino and Tuchel, I think, are the 3 most likely, followed by Thomas Frank. But apparently there's a secret target as well. And Parker equals simp. Well, 230 likes, guys. We're so close to the 300 like target. We've got 900 watching, so just need a third of them. Third of you guys hit like button, so you hit that button as well. We need a full sale. 100%. I want those Glazers gone. I want those Glazers out. At the end of the day, INEOS can't change the theme until they change the club, and they are working on changing the club, which is going to take a lot of time as well. There's reports coming out that Getafe want to sign Arda Geller from Real Madrid. I'd assume he stays at Real Madrid. I don't think you leave Real Madrid for Getafe, especially as young as he is. Apparently Dortmund don't want to buy Jadon Sancho, and he's not a marquee signing. So Dortmund have been hyping up Jadon Sancho, making out that Jadon Sancho is the best player in the world and all of this and that, just for basically Dortmund to now say, oh, Sancho's not a priority, we're not going to buy Sancho. So it's just embarrassing on Dortmund's side. Alice, when do you think an announcement will come out? I'd say by Friday. If we don't hear anything by Friday, I will be really, really concerned. It was said that Manchester United are preparing a proposal that will reach a £51 million agreement from Carlo Inacio with Sporting, as they'll pay his release clause, but they're trying to be able to pay his release clause in instalments over time. That is coming out from Portuguese media. Want to keep an eye on the Inacio story because Romano's confirmed interest, but I think Man United could be using Inacio as a game with Braithwaite. Now, I saw a really interesting tweet on Braithwaite, actually, and something that was really interestingly said on Braithwaite, and that is that all the big English clubs don't need a centre-back, and United are the only team that really need Braithwaite. You know, Arsenal sorted, City is sorted, Liverpool is somewhat sorted at the back. They do need they want a left centre-back, left-back hybrid. And obviously Braithwaite is not worth more than 60 million. Everton need to sell. I did see someone say that Man United are in a position where they shouldn't be able to, they don't need to pay over 55 million to get Braithwaite, because realistically, if Man United don't buy him, they don't see him going elsewhere, which I think United could use to their advantage while negotiating the deal. Elise is going to Chelsea. Who knows? Let's hope Elise holds off that deal. Chelsea are going to push for Elise, and they're going to offer him ridiculous wages and ridiculous money, but Elise is a Man United fan, so let's hope he works on that deal. Alice, the secret target is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Do you know what? The news broke about 2 hours ago, breaking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be the next Besiktas manager. Besiktas have announced the next manager. It's not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So to be honest with you, it's something going on with Ole and United, because there's rumours of Ole coming back to United behind the scenes. I mean, there is a secret candidate that INEOS want. There's a secret candidate that Man United want, apparently. You know, Tuchel's number 2, Poch and De Zerbi are number 3. Apparently there's a secret candidate that's number 1. It could be Ole. It could be Pep. It could be Zidane. It could be Southgate, although that wouldn't be secret because we've been linked to him a lot. Every journalist should honestly delete this app off their phone until the official club statement drops. We keep getting told time and time again the manager's going, but the club aren't going to announce the statement. Yeah, every journalist should just delete the app as well. I mean, Howard Nurse is saying TikTok, then basically Ten Hag's going to go, but Howard Nurse also said we're signing De Jong. You can't trust any journalist, and that's what I like about Romano and Ornstein is Romano and Ornstein haven't said a whole lot on the manager situation, but the reason they're not saying a whole lot is because they don't know. They're not going to be one of those sources that feed information for clicks based off a half story they get. Romano and Ornstein, while they haven't given us much exclusive, they're not going to give us information until they fully know the full story. Now, Romano does say that United is still in contact with other managers, which suggests to me that Ten Hag will go. And every reliable source, I mean, Laurie Whitwell said that he got strong information to suggest that the decision had been made to sack Ten Hag, but when he asked the club about it, they said no decision had been made. You know, the Athletic Fabrizio Romano have had strong information to suggest that Ten Hag will be sacked, but when they reach out to the club aren't saying anything. Maybe the club want to drop it as a surprise, but I would assume a statement's got to come out today, got to come out tomorrow. Alice, have you heard the rumour there'll be a statement at 6 p.m. tonight? Well, we're 6 minutes away from 6 p.m. tonight, so let's hope there's a statement at 6 p.m. tonight, because we can react to that live, but I don't think there will be. We will regret sacking Ten Hag. Well, I'm just hoping that he's staying. Like, I'm 20% that he stays, to be honest. I think I'd like Ten Hag to stay, but I'm 80% sure that he will be sacked. I'm 80% sure he will go. But the reason I'm not 100% sure or 90% sure is because at the end of the day, no one in the media knew about Omar Barada. How many times did we get told when the takeover was ongoing that it was going to be Qatar, and reliable sources had bits and bobs about Qatar? You know, I just think the media keeps saying Ten Hag's going to go, Ten Hag's going to go. But is it because one credible report said there's suggestions that Ten Hag will go, and the rest of the media are doing a guessing game, writing reports that Ten Hag will go because they know it will get clicks or know it will get interactions? So I feel like 80% Ten Hag will go, but I do think there's more of a possibility of him staying that's being reported in the media. It just gets a lot more clicks if you write, oh, Ten Hag's going to go, Ten Hag's going to go. Because at the end of the day, we've had talks with our managers which suggests he probably will go. But at the end of the day, INEOS are very quiet. They keep everything hush-hush. It's been so long, and I think the longer and longer it goes on, the more and more I suggest Ten Hag stays, because surely they'd want to work on another manager now. When you've sat Ten Hag, you've got to have other days to bring in a new manager, and the transfer window's opening. So I'd assume if there's no statement by Friday, it might twist towards Ten Hag staying, to be honest with you guys as well. So close to the 300 like target, over 900 people watching, so please do go ahead and hit that like button if you have not already as well. I bet it's Eddie Howe or Potter. There was rumours of interest in Eddie Howe, particularly with Ashworth coming in, but considering how difficult Ashworth was, I think getting Eddie Howe in would be hard. Would you take Doué if we can get Elise? I know he's a left wing, but Rashford, Amman and Garnacho can play right wing. I don't think Rashford can play right wing, but Amman and Garnacho can. My first choice is Elise, my second choice is Doué. He actually is. Nico Williams would be my second choice, but I don't think it's realistic with his 400k a week wage demands or something. I would go for Doué if we couldn't get Elise, because he can rotate with Rashford on the left, Garnacho and Amma can be on the right, get rid of Anthony, and I think Doué has Ballon d'Or potential. But for me, I think Elise being Premier League proven, ready now, good enough now, whereas Doué is great, but I think he needs time to develop, and we've got Maina, we've got Garnacho, we've got so many young developing players that my number one would be Elise, but my number two would 100% be Doué. Number three would be Nico Williams for the right wages. Eddie Howe done a fantastic job, but I think it's early to join a top club, maybe 5 or 6 years' time. I think Eddie Howe could take on a top club if the right environment and stability is there, and if INEOS give that to him at Man United. But I think he's building something with Newcastle, and Newcastle, the Saudi project's going to have so much money into it that I think he can take Newcastle to the top. He's gotten back in the Champions League, I think, next season without Europe, with a few new signings, less of an injury scenario. I think he can gradually build up Newcastle and take United to the top. British players should stop signing for City, but City guaranteed trophies and you give them a lot of money, they pay you a lot of money. So, I don't think people are going to boycott Manchester City, although it would be nice. I can't see clubs doing that, but I think everybody wants them gone. Oh my God, I just got catfished. My heart just sank. Oh, guys, you don't know what happened. I went on Twitter because there's a rumour about a club statement coming out at 6 p.m. I went on Twitter and this came up on my feed. Manchester United club statement, but it's obviously not Manchester United, it's a parody account. I literally saw this club statement, Erik Ten Hag, and I was like, what? I was literally like, wait, they've just dropped something, they just announced something as well. Alice, think what are you saying? I like Eddie Howe, but I think he's building something good at Newcastle as well. And Erik Ten Hag we trust. I generally believe with the right support and right backing. Like, I genuinely believe with the right support and the right backing that Erik Ten Hag can succeed at Manchester United. I do. I think it's not been easy, and I understand the football Ten Hag's played this season is atrocious. And look, I'm not, as someone that is Ten Hag in, I can understand if INEOS do sack Ten Hag, because when you actually look at the style of football and the football we've played this season, it has been awful. Our metrics are awful, our underlying awful numbers are awful. But I just think for a club that went 6 years without winning a trophy to win 2 trophies in 2 years, to have the players on side with the manager, to have the fans on side with the manager, the fact that we've not given any manager basically more than 2 years and we're going through this cycle of constantly sacking managers that hasn't worked, the fact that Ten Hag played good football at Ajax but hasn't been able to play that at Man United yet, and the injury crisis, I do generally believe if they give Ten Hag another year, it could work out. With the right recruitment, with less injuries, I think he can succeed at United, especially when there's no standout candidate to replace him. When you're hearing, Thomas Frank and Gareth Southgate might replace Ten Hag, or De Zerbi might replace Ten Hag, I don't necessarily see those managers as an upgrade. People say, but De Zerbi plays great football. That's because you've got highly technical players at Brighton that are able to play good football, which is crazy because we're Man United. We should have better players than Brighton when it comes to playing an attractive brand of football, but we don't have the players able to play modern football. So all these managers that play great football, that doesn't mean they can come to United and play great football, because Ten Hag played great football at Ajax, and he's not exactly playing great football at United. Did I read that one out? Oh, no, I did read that one out. Sorry, I'm a bit behind on the chat. They're attempting to ruin the Prem. Manchester City are basically attempting to change the Premier League rules so it suits them, essentially, as well. No, be catfishing Alice as well. Honestly, I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw this thing come out with club statement and I panicked. I was like, oh my God, they've given us something on Ten Hag as well. Catfish means like pranked. So I thought this was officially a Man United club statement, but it's not. It's a prank account. That's what I mean as well. I think we're winning 2 trophies next season. I hope so as well. You're one of the very few on YouTube that want Ten Hag in. There was a poll by Andy Mitten that said 84% of Man United fans wanted Ten Hag in. I saw a comment and I can't find it. I wanted to read out this comment and I couldn't find it. Someone was asking me about Yusuf Fofana, but I can't find the comment there. So I do apologise. I'm quite behind on the live chat. I am scrolling down here as well. All these mid-managers will fail here. Let's give Ten Hag another year. Only sack him if we know the manager to replace him is good. Fair enough. Saeed said I would go for Fofana and Andre rather than going for João Gomez. We need Todibo, Elise, and maybe a left back like Kirkes. I agree with that. I would like Fofana. I mean, Andre's a risk, but I think Yusuf Fofana could be a really, really good signing and Amrabat replacement as well. Alice, how has this situation influenced your view on INEOS' ability to change the culture? At the end of the day, they've got to change a lot about the club. It's a massive mess because of how badly the club has been run for so long. So in my honest opinion, I would say give it another year. give it another year or two to really judge INEOS. I don't like the lack of communication. I don't like how slow decisions have been. And I think there's, we can criticise INEOS, but I think when they're putting their own money into the club and rebuilding the facilities, and they're bringing footballing people into the club, something the Glazers didn't do in 17, 18 years, you can't say they're Glazers 2.0. I think that would be unfair. I think they will eventually change the culture, and I think you have to judge INEOS over. You can't really judge INEOS. It's long-term judgment. At the moment, there's frustration, but at the end of the day, where we are in 3 years and how we're running in 3 years and how we're operating in 3 years is how I can really judge INEOS fairly as well. Yeah. Alice, I fell for the club statement thing as well. Yeah, it's all over Twitter. Everybody's retweeting this club statement tweet. So I went to refresh my feed because there was news that was going to be a club statement on Ten Hag at 6 p.m. And then I got pranked as well. Like, my heart sank when I saw that. Fofana Elise should be United's 32 signings. Fofana Elise Todibo. I mean, very French, and we're trying to go English, aren't we? But Fofana Elise Todibo. I think Elise can count as homegrown. I'm not sure. They could maybe do that. But Fofana Elise Todibo would be my three first signings at Manchester United. And that would cost 120 million for the three of them. And then you get maybe 30 million for Casemiro, plus the 20 million saved in wages, plus the money you save in wages for Varane and everyone that's left on the free. I think that's a 60 million net spend when you include the wages saved plus the wages of those three players you buy in, and then the sale of Casemiro. I think that's decent net spend, and then we can look for another striker, then we can look for another centre back, then we can look for potentially full back depth as well. Would you sell Malacia? Yes and no. If an offer came in for Malacia that was 15 million plus, I would look into it for sure. He's not played in a year, so I don't think any club's going to really put an offer on him because he's not played in a while. But I think there's a good player in Malacia, and he had some really good performances at United. And I'm not going to forget that. It's a big question of how he comes back from injury, to be honest, because he's been out for so long. As well, I watched a Spurs video saying what should the goal be. I said it would be top 4 and a trophy to be good, and they said top 4, yes. And they said yes, but top 4, no, Spurs should win the league. I don't think Spurs will win the league. Spurs' expectations to win the league next season, they're crazy. They're crazy because they finish. You don't go from 5th to winning the league, especially if you've got Spurs' budget compared to the likes of City and stuff. It's crazy. They're too far behind City and Arsenal. I think for Spurs, if they got top 4 and won a trophy and progressed and they played a good style of football that was sustainable, that's the best that Spurs can do, is playing good style of football that's sustainable as well. Who are Man United's transfer targets? Couldn't tell you 100% who our transfer targets are, but I can tell you the reported targets are Branthwaite, Todibo, and of course Euro for defence. And Elise, of course, for right wing is a number 1 target. Yusuf Fofana, João Gomez, Human and Nana are definitely midfield targets. I think the thing is, what we're going to do in the transfer window, and a lot of what we want to do is basically very dependent on who's available, who we sell, how much money we have after sales, and of course what the manager situation will somewhat influence it. Even though INEOS want to take a little bit of control when it comes to transfers, the manager situation is definitely going to have some kind of influence over the situation as well. Alice, do you think Man United will be back in a couple of years? I think if we run properly, then yeah, we're such a big club. I think if we run properly and we sort ourselves out, we can be back. But obviously, easier said than done. I do have a second channel video coming out tonight, which will be my predictions for the Euro. So make sure you do go check that out. Check out Aquila Football about 8 p.m. tonight for Alice's Euro 2024 predictions as well. I've got interesting predictions, a little bit different to some people as well. Guys, please do hit that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Share the video and all of that stuff as well. Someone said Incio out, Incio now. We haven't brought Inacio. We haven't brought Inacio. But I don't think Inacio. I think Inacio, I like the player, but I don't think he's a must. I don't think it's a necessary thing. Do you think Griezmann and Morata will end up coming to us? High wages, so no. But I like the idea of Griezmann coming in to help out Højlund because he can drop a bit deeper. Like, I'd love the idea of Griezmann coming in to help out Højlund, but I really don't see Griezmann coming to Manchester United next season because INEOS want to renew Johnny Evans' contract, but they're not going to review Varane's contract, even though Johnny Evans has played less minutes than Varane because Johnny Evans' fitness record is less. Even though Johnny Evans' fitness record is less reliable than Varane's. Man United season review and future decision on Ten Hag will not go beyond this week. Breaking news. It's said by Jamie Jackson, and reliably informed Manchester United season review and Eza Ten Hag future decision will not go beyond this week. Whether that means conclusion in 5 minutes tomorrow or Friday, tune in to discover. So basically being said that Manchester United have come to a conclusion. It's been reliably informed by Jamie Jackson that Manchester United have come to a conclusion on the manager's situation. Whether they announce that tonight, tomorrow, or Friday is yet to be seen. But Manchester United, according to Jamie Jackson, has come to a conclusion on the Ten Hag situation as well. So that is definitely heating up as well. Do you think Benjamin Sesko will go to United? I can see him going to Arsenal, if I'm going to be honest with you as well. But yes, big news coming in from Jamie Jackson. Maybe we're going to get some clarity. Maybe the manager situation at Manchester United is finally going to speed up. I really hope that's the case, because this whole manager situation has been going on for far too long. Like you guys, I'm just completely and utterly fed up of it. I don't know if we're going to get an answer today. I don't know if we're going to get an answer tonight. I don't know if we're going to get an answer tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to get an answer next week. But the manager situation has gone on for far too long. Apparently, Ten Hag's got a mutual agreement with INEOS to leave. That's fake news that people are just spreading for clicks. They haven't had a mutual agreement. Nothing is new. We're just being told that there's a decision that's been made, and that could be announced tonight, tomorrow, next week. It's not expected to go on beyond the week. There's no mutual agreement. There's nothing like that. It is, we're going to get an announcement soon. We'll find out soon. No one knows what's happened, but we're going to find out soon. There's suggestions that Ten Hag will leave. There's suggestions that Ten Hag will go, but there's no concrete evidence. There's no confirmation of that or any of that, by the way, guys, as well. It feels like ages since this saga started. I mean, the season review, the review on Ten Hag started in January. The review on Ten Hag and Ten Hag's future and what Ten Hag's future may be started in January, and it is still going on. It's been going on since January. It isn't incredibly frustrated that this season review or this manager review has been going on since January, and I just think it's time that it's done. But reliable reports are coming out saying it's been concluded and an announcement is pending. An announcement is pending, good. The review's been concluded, good, because it has really gone on for far too long as well. Just ignore journalists in between official news. They just create soap opera reviews and clicks. I agree. At the end of the day, wait for Ornstein, wait for Romano, wait for them to drop an update as well. But yeah, the manager review's been going on since January. It's been going on seriously since April, since Wilcox came in the door. That's when it really stepped up a level and got serious. It's been going on for far too long. We all know INEOS have made a decision. The feeling is INEOS' decision is to sack Ten Hag, but no one knows that for sure. It's just a guessing game that the media is going along with. But apparently INEOS are going to make sure that decision is out by the end of the week. They're not going to drag it on any longer. They're not going to delay it any longer. And I'm just going to say thank F to that, because I cannot wait any longer for this situation to drag on, be delayed even more. The whole situation is just becoming a little bit of a joke, in all honesty. It's embarrassing. You know, INEOS have got stuff to do, and the longer and longer they delay this, and the longer and longer they put this off, it's annoying as well. Rob Dawson, Howler. Yeah, Rob Dawson came out. He was saying breaking news. Ollie's going to join Besiktas. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be the next manager of Besiktas. 2 hours later, Besiktas announced their next manager. It's not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So that tells you everything you need to know about the journalist reporting that Ten Hag's going to be sacked. The journalists who keep coming up, oh, by the way, you know, Ten Hag's going to be sacked. Ten Hag's going to be sacked, by the way. Yeah, those journalists, yeah, coming out, oh, yeah, Ten Hag's going to be sacked. Ten Hag's going to be sacked, by the way. Well, one of them said, oh, you know, Man United are getting Rob Dawson in. Man United are going to get Rob Dawson in, one of them was saying. Oh, really? We're going to get Rob Dawson in? Not Rob Dawson in. Man United, sorry. Rob Dawson was saying Besiktas are going to get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in. Besiktas are going to get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in. That's what Rob Dawson was saying. Besiktas were going to get Ole in. Well, Besiktas have announced their new manager and it's not Ole, and he's one of the guys saying that Man United will sack Ten Hag. So, you know, obviously mainstream media is suggesting we're going to sack Ten Hag, but we can't take it with 100% certainty. We can't go, okay, mainstream media said that we're sacking Ten Hag. Mainstream media said Ten Hag's go. And we can't look at that and think, okay, well, that's guaranteed that Ten Hag's leaving, because, well, mainstream media has been wrong a lot about this club as well. Journalists these days are shocking. Yeah, the journalists these days have gone down as well. Alice, when do you think we'll get an announcement on Ten Hag? I wish I knew. I wish I knew. I'm going to say tomorrow. I'm going to say we're going to get something tomorrow, because I heard from someone yesterday that we're going to get something Thursday. But my sources aren't necessarily tier one. I'm not Fabrizio Romano. I'm not David Ornstein, as you guys know. So, I mean, I would say tomorrow if I had to put a guess on it. But I think the whole situation depends. Do you think Man City will finally get caught out for all their cheating? I hope they do, but money talks, power talks, and they've got a lot of power. They've got a lot of money. And my head says to me, to be honest with you guys, I can see Manchester City pretty much getting away with it. as they do as well. But listen, people, I'm probably going to wrap up the live stream in a second as well. If it's true that they've come to a conclusion on Ten Hag and they do not drop it now, if you 2 and 2 together, he's most likely gone waiting for the new manager. Potentially true, and that's what I'm thinking. I think he might be gone because they're talking to other managers, and Bayern Munich believe that Tuchel refused to come back because he thinks he'll be the next Man United manager as well. It's all interesting, but guys, please hit that like button. Of course, subscribe down below. The mutual agreement is that INEOS will humiliate Erik Ten Hag and force him to resign. There's no I'm going to confirm this. That there's no mutual agreement between Ten Hag and INEOS for Ten Hag to leave. That is not news. That is not fact. Nothing in that sense has come on. It is, all we know is there could be an announcement Friday. Nothing has been done. Nothing is official. There's no mutual agreement that Ten Hag is leaving. People are just putting out fake news for clicks saying that Ten Hag may go. The indication from reliable sources is Ten Hag will go because INEOS is speaking to other journalists, but there's nothing else. Anyway, please hit the like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Thank you for watching. Bye.